welcome back to Show Me St. Louis. Our next guest is celebrating a century-long endeavor of bringing hope and healing to families. The 100th anniversary of Shriners Children's Hospital is April 6th. So here to share more is the Regional Marketing and Communications Director, Tammy Robbins, and Shriners Philanthropy Director, Diane Johnson. Thank you both so much for joining us today.
Oh, thanks for having us. We're excited.
I mean, my goodness, congratulations,
Yeah.
100 years. So Tammy, why don't you first take us through what has happened over these 100 years?
Right, so, we started really as a place where people could bring their kids who had polio. Polio was really running rampant across the nation in the 1920s, and we formed our whole organization in 1922, and we were the 6th hospital that opened for Shriners Children's in just 2 years. That's how fast the Shriners really reacted to the polio epidemic and how much they wanted to help children. So we started just to being a place where families could go to help their kids who had polio. And then, as Jonas Salk developed the vaccination, we moved more into orthopedic conditions. And then in the 1960s, we added burns as a whole system. Here in St. Louis, we've really had just this really strong relationship with WashU School of Medicine and their faculty physicians to treat kids with some of the most rare conditions and some of the most everyday conditions. And we have really seen the progression of orthopedic care really skyrocket and be so great for kids to be able to go from 2-week hospital stays or year-long hospital stays to, really taking care of kids in an outpatient basis and getting them back home to recover for their orthopedic conditions.
Well, that's just remarkable. I mean, what it started with and what it has grown to. Now, Diane, of course, this is all thanks to, in part, to the community support as well, and lots of supporters over the years. So why don't we talk about how you're celebrating 100 years?
We are celebrating 100 years with a gala on April 20th, Most Amazing Care Affair, and we are thrilled. We have incredible sponsorship from ARCO and CarShield and Ameren, and it goes on from there. We are delighted about how the community has come out for us in 100 years.
And for the two of you, why is this mission particularly so important?
For me, it's very personal. I believe, I've been with Shriners for over 20 years, and I fell in love with the organization because of the men who, on an everyday basis, the Shriners fraternity, are so dedicated to us. I've never seen a volunteer force that it just lives the mission every single day of helping kids in their hometowns to come here and get the best care. But then it's the kids. To see a child who, I met this baby once who was born without hands and without feet, and I thought, how is this child going to make it? And then 5 years later, I see him running up and down the hallway with his new prosthetics the day that he got them. And we just gave this kid the opportunity to be the kid that he always wanted to be, being able to run and jump and play and do the things that other kids do. And he was so happy, and his parents were in the hall crying. And that day, and that was probably 15 years ago, he's in his 20s now. And for me, that just sustains, my love for the organization and why I want to give it my best all the time.
That's what it's all about, providing that hope and healing, and hopefully for another 100 years, right?
Absolutely.
And continuing to grow, continuing to help, and I know specifically for orthopedic needs, continuing to expand that. So all of that information is right there on your screen. You can learn further at shrinersstl.org. Thank you both so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Thank you.